Every idea starts with a spark.
I would like to play a game with you all tonight. It's called, Ooh, I Felt That. You've been working at a 9-to-5 job for years. Undervalued, discriminated against, underpaid, and you're stuck. You can't leave because you need the money to survive. But one day, you've had enough. You decide to walk into the office, go up to your boss, smack him across the face and tell him, I quit. Ooh, you felt that, didn't you? You felt that, right? It seems like many of us have had this feeling or thought before. Well, maybe not the slapping part too much, but you know, being uncaged, untamed, liberated. But let me tell you a little something about liberation. It's not always a one-time dramatic scene of rebellion and quitting a job. It's actually a journey, a lifestyle, a mindset, a way of thinking and operating in a society by pushing through systemic barriers one tiny step at a time. Now, when you think of the word liberation, what comes to mind? Historical moments of revolution? Haiti, 1804, the first black rebellion to gain independence. Or maybe modern-day mobilization, the marches for LGBTQ rights around the nation, black feminist movements. Or how about our favorite politicians, celebrities and public figures when they speak and sing to us on public stages? We print their faces on t-shirts and posters, sing their songs, mimic their fashion, quote them on social media. But let me tell you the truth about liberation. It's not always loud, or a protest, or a shout on social media. Sometimes it's personal. Sometimes it's silent and subtle. It's that click purchase round-trip ticket to Ivory Coast, a country you've always wanted to visit, and now it's time for the adventure. It's that phone call you made to your mother the other day. Stop telling me what to wear. We need space, Mom. It's that hula hoop you bought from the toy store the other day and you're in your 60s. But you want to enjoy that silly activity every Sunday morning. Yes, liberation are the small choices we make on a daily basis to create our own little world of happiness and live in our full existence. But in order to create that world, we need to understand and acknowledge entities of oppression that exist today. I have traveled to so many countries, learned different languages, immersed myself in different communities, and befriended people from all walks of life. And I have noticed a pattern of behavior of every individual in every environment, a behavior influenced and dictated by three entities of oppression today. The first entity is the loudest and the most obvious, the system that we live in. The governments that control us, the 9-to-5 jobs, the institutions where we study, the laws and regulations, the hierarchy we're supposed to respect. But I'm not here to tell you to fight against that system to gain freedom. Though I do ask a question, Why do we try so hard to change the unchangeable? Why would we try so hard to educate the uneducatable? For the second entity is one that is very dear to us, and we fear challenging it because it molded us into the identity that we are today. Our own communities. Yes, the people closest to us. Friends, families, neighbors. The religion, race, culture, country of origin, tribe that we were born and raised in. And I'm referring to the subtle, indirect ways in which our own people can oppress us. You listen to punk rock music and not R&B? Are you really black? No habla español. No eres Latino. You don't speak Spanish. You're not Latino. He's really weird. We don't behave like that as Lebanese men. منه لبناني. Isn't it funny how the very people who raised us can easily be the ones who alienate us from our own homes? And because of that, a third entity has been created. The most silent one, yet the toughest one to challenge. Oppression from our own selves. The voices of fear inside our head. That moment you wake up in the morning, look into the mirror and say, you were a fool for dancing like that yesterday at that party. They were laughing at you. You ain't got no rhythm. Or when you tell yourself, maybe if I take my shirt off and post a picture on Instagram, like that influencer I saw the other day, I will finally get all the likes that I wanted. I will finally be validated. I will finally be loved. I will finally be... You felt that. We can be our own oppressors. Maybe the real dictators of this world are not those who rule countries and communities. Maybe they're the ones who rule us from deep within. I know what you're thinking. So how do we create our liberation? As a university professor and organizational trainer, I encourage my audiences to indulge in 4 stages that are everlasting and ever evolving, a journey. Are you ready? Yes. I said, are you ready? Yes. Yeah, I need the energy to be a little bit up in this room, okay? All right. The first stage is questioning. Rethink everything. Flip the entire script. Interrogate every single statement thrown at you by society. And don't ask just to challenge yourself or others. Ask for pleasure and stimulation, even the most foundational things. What story am I living? One that I have written for myself, or one handed down to me by my own father? What is the concept of marriage? What is the purpose of a boyfriend? Is that even needed? The more we ask, the more we find ourselves in different realities around us, going into the second stage, exploration. It's a phase of experimenting, research, analysis, critical thinking and conversation outside of your own bubble, outside of your own country and community, looking in the world around you. You could be in South Korea and learn about the history in Palestine. You can be in Ohio and listen to Moroccan hip-hop. You can be in Finland and discuss colorism with your colleagues. The more we discover these truths around us, the more we start selecting paths that resonate with our own narrative. Enter stage number 3, choosing joy in a world of chaos. I want you to imagine this scenario with me, okay? You're at a karaoke bar in Houston, Texas, and it's country music. Everybody's singing all the classics. Shania Twain, Tim McGraw, Beyonce. Yes, Beyonce. If you know, you know. And your friends tell you, well, pick a country song. It's a crowd pleaser. Everybody will like you. It'll be great for the vibe. But deep down inside, you know you want to sing a song by your favorite French artist, Charles Aznavour. It's your time to shine. You grab the mic, you go on stage, and here you go. You are the one for me, for me, for me, formidable. And now everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. But in that moment, you did not choose to assimilate to your environment. You didn't choose to belong to the majority. You chose yourself. You chose a song that made you happy, that brought you joy. And because of that, a few people started to flock around you out of admiration, curiosity, and interest and appreciation. And you have created your own little bubble of joy in this big environment, finding yourself in the fourth stage, creating your own belonging. You see, liberation is like this infectious disease that we all fear, yet we all need. So what does liberation look like today? Or rather, who does it look like? Liberation is Imani, the dark-skinned black woman in her 30s from Florida, who travels the world all by herself, knowing the dangers, racism, and discrimination that may come her way. But yet, she still chose the adventure. She chose herself. She chose her own joy. She chose the world, despite living in a country that may have told her that she does not deserve it. Liberation is Mahmoud, the 55-year-old Egyptian Muslim man who decided not to get married at all in his life, despite the criticism and mockery of his own family for defying traditional norms. But he has found love, admiration, appreciation from his own people, his community, his friends, his lovers. Okay, that's me, not him. Just, you know. Liberation is Eduardo, the 20-year-old immigrant queer boy from Venezuela who lives in Atlanta and defines his own identity of what it means to be queer without listening to the westernized, whitewashed, Americanized identities of LGBTQ narratives in mainstream media, despite not being invited to the parties and criticized for his fashion sense. He has chose an identity that makes him happy. And liberation is my own story. I am not Lebanese. I am not Palestinian. I am not Haitian, nor am I Puerto Rican. But I am connected deeply to all those 4 countries. One I was born in, another I have roots from, one I have heritage to, and another who has adopted me. There is no home for me. There is no country of origin. There is no culture that I belong to. There is no identity that I categorize myself with. Home is what I create everywhere and anywhere that I exist. A feeling, but not a physical location. My country of origin is not of one, but of many. My culture changes, transcends, evolves with every community I walk into. And my identity is not of a race or an ethnicity, but of a globalist, a man who lives in the world. A world that may not understand me, that may not like me, that may hate me, that may not comprehend me. but yet I still choose to live in it by creating my own world in which I find joy. So do you recall that scene when you're about to walk up to your boss and smack him across the face? Remember, liberation is not a one-time dramatic scene of rebellion. It's not necessarily a protest or loud. It's a journey. It's those small choices and decisions you make every day to create your own environment, your own world, and living in the big world. A big world that may not like you, may not understand you, may not invite you, but it will be infected by you, and it will get used to you, whether it likes it or not. My name is Jad-Évangelo Nasser, and I have created my own liberation in this world. After tonight, I hope you will create yours. Thank you.